Have you set up, you can see who's there, that's the chat we'll talk about, and then that will adjust your audio. I have you turned all the way up.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Don. Just going to wait a few more minutes before we get started.
Hey guys, it's Jeremy Cantor. For those on the phone, first of all, I wanted to say Happy New Year to everyone, for those that I haven't spoken to. And the other thing I was going to say really quickly was everyone on the phone probably should have received an email from me a couple days ago. Michael and I are heading down to tomorrow, and I sent out that list of for Omni and buying group. But we're making a real push, and we're giving 3% cash back, as you know, at the Omni show coming up. So for any of you guys that have a last-minute push today, make sure you call your wholesaler. It's free money. Anything they place at Omni, at the show, purchase order, they're going to get a 3% cash back on the spot. So that's a big deal. MyGuard's a big one too, guys. So that's a no-brainer. We got tons of them in stock, and we're ready to roll with that. So keep it going. And the other thing is you'll receive your displays in the next week for MyGuard as well. So we'll get those out on the counter, and we're going to make a. I got some strategic plans for the second quarter to reward everyone for sales in MyGuard. So thanks again. That's all I have.
We're going to get started. Thank you, Jeremy. Hopefully everyone has the green MPB-2014 USA book if you're in the U.S. or the silver 2014 Canada book if you're in Canada. I'd like everyone to turn to pages 2 and 3.
Maybe I can.
In pages 2 and 3, and when I refer to these pages, I refer to both books. This was in the 2012 book, but in pages 2 and 3, for those of you that don't know, we have a MyFab model number index. We have the model number and then the page number. So for a lot of people that are relatively new to the line, they find this very helpful because you can look for the model number and then it tells you what page that model number is on within the book. On the right-hand side of page 3, you can see a list of all of the standards that our products conform to: ASTM, ASSE, PDI, and so on. The pictorial index is essentially the same in the 14 book. We updated a lot of the product images with actual product photos, so they're a little bit sharper. Let's go to I'm just going to cover of the MPB 2014. You'll notice at the bottom of the book we have the lit number. In the U.S., the lit number for the green book is lit, and in 6 in Canada. Now let's go to page 30 of both books. On page 30, you'll see that we updated the All-Star cover page. So these images of the All-Star cover are the new and updated product. We have the 2 grip points for the channel locks, some better photos of that product. And we have this in 6-inch in diameter. We also made a correction on the bottom of page 30 for the list price. We now say see the counterline list price book instead of having a fixed price that we had in there in the 12 US book. Let's go to page 33. At the bottom of 33, you can see we've added option -69, which is stainless steel sediment bucket A1 SSB. That's in both books. We've added that because we've had some requests from customers to have a stainless steel sediment bucket in addition to our standard -5, which is the plastic bucket only. that option, that new option -69, is all the way through pages 33 to 45. So as you go through the floor drain section, you will see that we've added the -69 floor drains. Also, as you go through pages 33 through 45, you'll notice in the part section that we now have product photos. For example, the A1 body, a lot of the strainers have the actual product photos. They are not illustrations of the bodies or the strainers. Have a look at page 39. On page 39, the top of page 39, F1100 CRS, the middle of the page, very top of page 39, we've added a photo of the RS48. And you can see that the grate pattern of the RS48 is different than the grate pattern that we illustrate in the top left corner of page 39 for the F1100 CRS. That's because what we're illustrating in the top left corner is the grate pattern for the 4x12 and the 5x17. And the grate pattern that we're illustrating in the middle top of the page is for the 4x8 only, and it's slightly different. We've had issues in the past where people have ordered the 4x8 expecting to get a grate pattern that looks like the image in the top left, only to get what we have in the middle of the top of page 39, and you know, there's an aesthetic discrepancy. So we try to be clear in this new book to indicate that the 4x8 is a different pattern. Let's look at pages 46 and 47. You'll notice that almost all of the strainers are now actual photographs versus images, just to make it a little clearer, a little better in terms of what we're actually offering and what we're shipping. Let's go to page 48. You'll notice on page 48 in the option section for the F1120, we've added the -11 acid-resistant epoxy-coated body. That was not there in the prior book, the -11 option. That's the middle of page 48 in the options. And also the top right corner of page 48, you can see that we've added a photo of the actual 2-inch F1120 body, which is one of the most, if not the most compact side outlet integral trap body on. And we thought that if we illustrated the 2-inch, it would be a lot better, because when you look at the top left corner image of the F1120-C, that body looks quite big, and in reality, the 2-inch side outlet, which is a fairly common integral trap drain, is very compact. So we've got the photo showing that to be a little bit more descriptive. Let's go to page 52. Top left corner of page 52, you'll notice there's a new note that's been added underneath the product illustration of the F1240. It says, "Note, flow through shank of top assembly 4-inch pipe." We added that note because we've been questioned regarding the free area of that strainer, of that grate, relative to the flow capability. So again, we've stated that the shank is the limiting factor, which is 4-inch diameter pipe. Let's go to page 52. Well, yeah, on 52. In the option section on page 52, you'll notice we've added the new -150 and -175. The 150 is the half grade option, and the 175 is the 3/4 grade option. That's on the right-hand side of page 52, in the middle in the option section. The 150 and 175, the half and 3/4 grades, we've added those options all of the area drains from pages 52 to 66. So everywhere you see options from 52 to 66, you'll see that we've added the 150 and the 175 half and 3/4 grades, and we can cut those grades in our factory here in Chicago. Let's look at page 66. On page 66, in the optional variation section, we've added the -5 sediment bucket, but we've been more descriptive. We say there's a different bucket for the F1480 versus the F1490. The price is the same, but it's a different bucket because obviously the 90 is bigger than the 80. So we've added that to the -5 description in the middle of the page on 66. Page 94. This is something that the bottom right-hand corner, page 94, we've added this new patent-pending 3-in-1 quad. We call it the quad floor sink top assembly design. You can see the full grate looks like your typical nickel bronze or stainless steel full grate. The middle, we have 2 quarter sections that have been removed, and the bottom right corner, the 3/4, we've taken one of the quarter sections out. So now we have one SKU that is shipped as a full grate, unless the customer specifies that they want a 1/2 or 3/4, then we would remove here either 1 or 2 sections. But as you order for your stock, it would be, for example, an FS 1700 TA-3, a full 12x12 grade stainless steel. You would get that in the new quad design, so you have the option out of your stock to convert it to either a 1/2 or 3/4. And we've illustrated that now for the first time, the bottom right-hand corner of page 94. Pages 97 to 103. We've updated in the FS 1520 and FS 1520T body height chart. So look at the top right corner, page 97. Underneath the 2 parts illustrations, you'll see that body height chart. So the asterisk indicates that that body is with a transition outlet only. For example, 4-inch push-on body at 9 5/8 in height is available with transition outlet body only. The ones that don't have an asterisk, for example, 234 no hub, are available in original body design. We've also eliminated the -7 in the transition body part number. You'll notice at the very top of page 97, top right corner, FS 1520-PB-7, that's the original body with a -7 for the trap primer. But right underneath that for the transition body, there's no -7 in the floor sink body number because the A1 body has the trap seal primer tapping, which gives us the -7. Okay, let's go to page 104. Page 104, we've added back the stainless steel frame and grate veneer for the FS 1770 and FS 1770 FL. If you look on page 104 on the right-hand side at the top for the FS 1770, just above the options, you'll see we have a price of $3,634 for nickel bronze -1 or stainless steel go there. That should say frame and grate, not just grate. We've noted that to correct in the 15 book. But we didn't have the stainless steel frame and grate before. We only had the nickel bronze. So we've added the stainless steel back in there. Page 105, we've added the -12 and the -13 options, the galvanized body and grate and the galvanized body to page 105 for the FS 1790. And the optional variations section near the bottom of 105, you'll notice that they're now added options 12 and 13. Page 106, in the optional variations section, we've added new option -28. That's a stainless steel A1 body outlet. As we know, the stainless steel floor sinks are made or shipped as a transition body always with an A1 body that is galvanized underneath it. Shouldn't be red, it should be a galvanized coated A1 body. But if one desires, they can choose the suffix -28 and have that A1 body be stainless steel. Just something interesting to point out on page 106. The pricing, the list pricing that we have for these stainless steel floor sinks is the same as our competition stainless steel floor sinks without anchor flanges. Ours are always shipped with anchor flanges and membrane clamps as standard. So competition for that is higher than our list prices. Our list prices are the same within $1 or $2 of our competition's list prices without that anchor flange and membrane clamp. So the customers are getting more capabilities with our product, having those features included. Let's go to page 123. For 123, look at the top of 123, the R1100PJ, and you'll notice right underneath the product illustration, there's a new note added. It says, note, specify suffix -5 for cast iron sediment bucket A1 MB and add $91. We've had some customers request a sediment bucket in that R1100PJ, which would hang right within the F1420 TA4 top. So we thought we would add that in, because typically a sediment bucket is not a roof drain option, but for this one it makes sense because it's a promenade deck drain. And we've done that also on page 129. There is a note as well in the optional variation section on the right-hand side. Look at the last option after -Z. You'll see the -5, cast iron sediment bucket A2MB. That's for the R1200 PR and PR15 drains. Pages 142, 143, scupper drains. We have updated and changed the design of these 4 drains to be a one-piece system. So look at the R1300T top left of 142 and R1320T top left of page 143. These used to be in pieces. So the outlet would be a piece, there would be a gasket between the outlet and the body, which would be a separate piece. You'd have the membrane clamp and you'd have the grates. Now what we've done is we've redesigned these products so that the outlet, the body is all one. And the most common is the R1300T. We've also changed the model number to the top of 3 to add the T. So it's R1300T, R1320T, because the standard connection is threaded. If somebody wants a no-hub connection to these drains, we would add the MI850. As you can see in the optional variation section in the middle of the page for 142 and 143, under list price we say CMI850 for the no-hub piece to convert this to no-hub. Bottom of 142 and 143, these drains are not as common because they have the 45-degree outlet. In such event, we would add in the male thread elbow part, you can see in the part section, to convert the standard units into 45-degree outlet sections. Let's go to page 151. We have removed, on the very bottom of page 151, we've removed the 5-inch outlet. We have 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, but we've eliminated the 5-inch on page 151. Let's go to page 176. We've added the new UD duct access door, the very top left corner, page 176, the second one in from the right. We also have that in the access door booklet. It's in there as well. We have these duct doors, or rectangular duct doors, in stock in Chicago. We've added it here, and it's in the separate access door book as well. Let's go to page 195. The top of page 195, the MySolid SA. We have updated the image and the dimensions of the MySolid SA to be what you see here on the top of page 195. Let's look at pages 201, 202, 203, same comment. The very top of page 201, you'll see the illustration of the motorized inlet knife valve assembly. That is what we're actually shipping. That's our new knife valve assembly. It's different than what we had in the old book. And on page 200, we're very, very close to sending our new automatic grease interceptor recovery design to the test labs to be tested. We are within 3 to 4 weeks. The designs are basically done. Jason's team has done a great job with that, and that's something to look forward to very, very soon. Page 208. In the middle of page 208 on the right-hand side, we've added an illustration of the MC10-10 suffix, the auxiliary support system. The application for this is when you have a wide chase. So the distance between the toilet and the back end of the chase, which is behind the toilet, that the contractor needs to use an extended pipe to connect to the toilet, and then at the other end to connect to the waste. So it's basically an MC200 frame, as you can see in the inset photo in the middle of page 208, that the extra long nipple goes through, and that hole in the frame of the MC200 supports the nipple along with the two legs in the 200 carrier support system. So now we have a photo which we have not had before, which will be helpful showing contractors or talking to contractors about what this thing actually is. Let's go to page 222. You'll notice on 222, in the middle right-hand side of the page, we've added a photo of the TC-2-50, the cast iron test cap. So, as you know, one of the big advantages we have with a lot of our vertical carriers is we have two open side inlets. And in the past, we have provided a rubber gym cap in the box so the plumber could cap either end. Well, we've upgraded that to be a cast iron plug, and we've done that because we want to eliminate the comment that a snake cleaning a line could chew through the rubber cap. With changing this to a cast iron cap, then that's not going to happen. That's also been updated on page 290 as well. 222, 290 have the addition of the cast iron caps. Let's look at page 235. Page 235, we've added the MC54. Second up from the bottom on page 235. The MC54 is a plate carrier. There's no legs, so it's for a sink or a lavatory. The reason why we added the 54 is our competitors have one of these as well. And rather than offering, for example, the MC51, which is on page 234, some contractors say they don't like the 51, they want the 54 because you have a steel plate, solid steel plate, not that thick, that they can drill through and mount that steel plate to the studs of the wall. We've also added four models. We have four models of the 54. We have a 54 and then a 54L. The difference there is the length of the arms. We go from 16-inch long arms to 18. That's basically the difference in the arms from a 41 to a 42, regular to ADA. And we've also offered the 17.25 center arms. That means that instead of the arms being 16.75 apart on center, they're 17.25 if you wish. And the reason we did that is some lavatories from, I forget the fixture brands, but it may be American Standard or Crane. There's some common ones out there that are 17.25 on center. So we've had a lot of requests to increase the width. Now, there is a typo on the list pricing for the MC54. The MC54 base list of $385 printed in the U.S. book is incorrect. It should be the same. It should be the same as the Z1251, which is $301. So we've corrected the MC54 to 301 in our system, and you should take note of that for those that have requests for this product. In Canada, the list pricing that we show is correct. It's just in the States that we made the mistake. Okay, page 257. We've added the BV, look at the middle right-hand side of page 257. We've added list pricing for the BV1000-CS. We call this a housing access cover, CS cover shroud. It's a housing that goes around the backwater valve. And we've used this number BV1000-CS because the number we had before conflicted with a different number that we had in there. Okay, pages 264 to 67. We've upgraded these pages to have the same wording that we have in the new green TSD 2014 book. So some of the wording has been clarified. We have the MPB now in the MR500 model numbers to comply to our no lead law requirements. But the wording from 264 to 67 is a little bit better than what we had before in terms of the operation of the product. Page 275, we've updated the chart for that product. This is now representative of what we offer to the product on page 275. We didn't have the right information before. Page 283, at the bottom of page 283, we've added the membrane clamp options for the FS1530-PC. The second one from the top in the last section at the bottom of page 283, we didn't have the clamps for the 1530. Now, typically, as I said earlier, our floor sinks that are flanged always come with the membrane clamps. We will always ship them as standard, which is unique to us, and it's an added feature. We don't charge for that. But if somebody needs to replace a clamp or loses a clamp, we have the extra clamps listed there for sale. Page 286, top left corner, the third section down, we've added the body, the 6-inch push-on body, C1226P-PB-50. We didn't have that before. We had the no-hub cock and the 8-inch no-hub, but now we've added the 6-inch push-on body for the C1226 on page 286. And then if we go to page, another really helpful page that you don't know, most of you probably do, is page 319. Look at page 319 on the far right-hand side of 319. You see there's a suffix listing. So we have all of our suffixes and we have a description, and that carries on from 319 to page 320. So this is a good like that suffix is. It should be listed here on pages 319 and 320. And then on page 321, Kristen has done a really good job to add in photos of all of our current price books. You can see in the top left corner of page 321, we have a complete MyFab binder. That's with all of the MyFab booklets within that. We also have a complete Beco binder, which is the bottom of page 321, the bottom right corner, second in from the left. That's lit 069. That's the complete Beco binder. That's actually a separate Beco binder that most of you should have received already that has all the Beco books in it. And the biggest Beco book would be the one in the bottom right corner, the new blue one, Beco 2014. And that's the same for Canada and the U.S. We took the waterworks and the plumbing and combined into the one book. And then you can see the covers of all of our other books. This is in the U.S. And we show color photos of all of these books on our website. At the top of the home page, click Marketing, then click Literature, and scroll down, and you'll see colored pictures of all of our books with a lit number, so we've made it real easy to order the exact book that you want. Or you could order complete binders, either MyFab or Beco, with all the guts inside of them. Okay, so that covers the updates on the MPB book. What I'm going to do now, I know I'm at the half-hour mark. I'm going to take about 10 more minutes and go over some of the new books, and then I'll stop for questions. Let me just go to hopefully the TSP book. That's the green book, the TSP 2014. The big addition to this book is the MyGuard. So in the bottom right-hand corner of the cover photo, you can see the 4 MyGuard products. ASSC approval on the 3 and the 3.5. So now we have the 2, 3, 3.5, and 4 ASSC approved. We have the test reports. We can email them to anybody that wants them. We're in the process of getting the ASSC certificate of listing. That will be within a couple of weeks, and then that'll be posted on our website too. There's no doubt that will happen now that we have the test reports in. We are also IAPMO listed with that product, and I believe Kristen sent out an update earlier this week with links to not only our ASSC test reports, but our IAPMO report. So that's the big addition, and that's on page, let me get to that page in this green book. And this is lit 062, if you don't have it. So it's on page 14, we have pictures of the guards, and on page 15, we have the pricing, and the bottom of 15, we have the repair flapper part described on the bottom of page 15. The other change to this new TSP book is the new low lead model number. So for example, I'm going to go to page number 4, and when you look at page 4 in the chart, you'll notice that we have MPB added to the MR, M1, M2, 500. We no longer list the MR 500 on its own. We say MR 500-NPB, and that's for the water hammer resters in this book. It's for the MI TSP 1, 2, 3 in this book, so that we're in compliance with the new low lead. And look at page 6, for example. You'll see that new UPC logo, lead-free. So a lot of these products we have listed on the IAPMO website as being third-party certified to the new low lead requirements, so that we're in compliance with that. A comment on page number 8 on the MI100. You'll notice in this picture, you can see that black solenoid valve between the control panel box and the BECO atmospheric vacuum breaker. We have upgraded that solenoid valve from a plastic valve, which it has been, to now it's standard as a stainless steel solenoid valve. So every MI100, 200 that we're shipping out of here in Chicago is now coming standard with a stainless steel solenoid valve. We are retrofitting anything that we've had made to give our customers that better product. If you have any MI100s on your shelves and would like to update those to the new stainless steel solenoid valves, please send them back to us and we'll update them. So those are the key additions to the TSP book. I'd like to draw your attention then to the new no-hub coupling book, the black one. And the reason why we made a new no-hub coupling book is to add in the transition couplings. You can see at the top of the page of the cover there, we have the otherwise known as Fernco transition couplings, or I mean flexible couplings. And then in the bottom, the middle left-hand side of the page, we have the transition couplings, where Mission is well known in that market. And then we have the gym caps, the bottom left corner on the cover. And then as you go into page 2, for example, we have various model numbers, and then you'll see we have a cross-reference underneath that to the main players for these products. We've heard from a number of people that we don't have enough of a selection of these types of products. So the models that we need to add, and if you haven't emailed Jeremy or I on what we need to add in terms of product range, please do, so that we can look at that. And there's a nice picture on the bottom of page 3 of our new torque wrench and showing how it tightens up our wonderful MyHub couplings on the cast iron pipe. Let's have a look at the new Cport book. This is different because we've raised the list prices on the Cport products. This is the new Cport. It's lit 047. You should have this book. If not, please let us know. We'll get it to you. In addition to a list price increase, a couple of new products. And the first one that we've added, let's see. You know what? I don't have the current version of this. This is the one I have is before we went to press. But on page number 1 of the new Cport book, there is a new picture of the CXM-B and the C5-B. And it looks like a mini little tower, either without strut or with strut. And the list price on the CXM-B without strut is $10.50, so $5.25 to the wholesaler. It's a much lower price product, and it's meant to compete with the lower price options out there that are typically out of plastic. So look for that on page 1 of the new Cport book. And also, we made a roller version of that, which is the top of page 6. It's the same little mini tower with a roller, and it's only $16 net, 32 list. So that's a lot more competitive for those in that market. And to quickly draw your attention to the new dialysis box book, which is, here's the cover. You can see this. Gary Harris just had an inquiry yesterday from a customer, I believe, in Mississippi for 100 pieces of a dialysis box competing versus an Acorn spec. So that just gives you an idea. We've sold probably 100 of these boxes so far. We make them in Chicago. It's a nice little niche item. And there's definitely a market out there. Acorn is a big one. Willoughby will have some too, but it's mainly Acorn that we see in the specs. So let's go after that product. And then we have the new Beco book. It's this blue covered book. The main upgrade here is the pricing makes a lot more sense. We took our cost margin, and so when we offer a discount structure starting at a 0.30 multiplier and going down from there, we know what we're dealing with. And a lot of the photos are updated. When you look at the product photos, you know, they're clearer, they're better. They have a great ACV product range. So it's a lot nicer. The paper is glossy. It's a much better presentation versus what we had in the Beco book. And the last thing I want to mention when it comes to literature is we are about to go to press on this brand new stainless steel trench drain book. This is a preview look at the new cover design. So we're finally going to have a separate book for our stainless steel floor drains, trench drains, floor sinks, down. And within this book, I'll just go to a couple of pages here. Oh, we don't have it there. Okay, but let's see. Within the book, you're going to have list prices, and we're doing that to reduce the amount of time that you have to spend getting pricing for these products. Let me show you a couple of pages. Mind my edits here, but for example, you know, there's a good one where you've got the picture of the product, you have the CAD, and you have the list price, $320 a foot for this item, for example. But all of these have now list prices, a nice picture of the product, great options. These red comments are the edit notes to our designer to get it done. But this will be we expect to go to press on this within a week or so, and then we'll get this book out to you as well. Okay, so that concludes the the presentation part of it. I'll open up for questions. Just give us a second here.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and prompt him.
Okay. Any questions? How do we do questions?
Just let them speak up.
If anybody's got a question, just speak up.
Last time they did it when they sent out the email. They sent out an email.
Oh, thank you for your time. This appreciate your attention.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
It's Matt from Kingsway Marketing.
Hey Matt, how are you?
Good, how about yourself?
Doing well.
The 2-inch MyGuards, I know, we ran into where they weren't fitting in the throats of the 2-inch floor drains and they're going to be remanufactured. Do you have an estimated date on those?
Yes, we have a few hundred of those that have shipped, and we expect those in next week.
Okay, perfect. That's all I had.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Got a quick question here. The MC54 with the 17.25-inch plate, is that one changed as well, the pricing?
Yes, that's a good question. I believe that all 4 of those models need to be revised. Let me send an email out to everybody to indicate what those 4 list prices should be.
Yeah, the original email we got was just the MC54 itself.
Got it. We'll make that correction. Thank you for that question. Anything else?
Michael, it's Dwight Wells from Aquiline.
Good morning, Dwight.
I've run into a problem I've never run into before, and I'm not sure who this should go to within the organization. An electrical inspector has rejected our MI100s because there's no ULC label on the timer control, and it's sort of spun out of control. The chief electrical inspector in Nova Scotia had a talk with him, and their take on it is that they're going to try to force anybody who's making these products, ourselves and PPP, to come up with a standard.
So we've run into this issue once before. The MI100, 200, and 300 are all tested to the ASSE 1044 standard. In order to pass that standard by the third-party lab, one of the tests is to meet UL standard number 73. So we have a test report from the independent lab that says our MI100 meets ASSE 1044, and the only way you could do that would be to pass UL 73 first. So even though there is no UL sticker on the device, which is what they're looking for, we meet the only industry standard there is for that type of product. There is no UL standard for the entire product, but there is a UL standard for part of the items within the product which we meet. So Jason has done a letter already to this effect. I'll have him email you a letter, Dwight, so that you can get that to the inspector.
Okay, great.
Okay, any other questions?
Michael?
Yes.
Hate to be a pain. Put together a summary of everything you went through and pop it out. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Kristen's got this recorded. Send an email link to the recording, but also I have a sheet that has all the comments that I made in the green book, the big MPB book. Get that to Kristen. She'll email that out to everybody so everybody has it as well. Thank you, Art. And Art, you saw the MyGuard application for state of Mass. Hello? Thank you, Art. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Stay warm, and look forward to talking to everybody soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Michael.